Hello. I am getting things together here to show you how to turn these, more like turn these into these, into these. In other words, take gilding flakes, put them on full pages, and use them for die cutting. And what's taken me so long to get here is because I can't find the ones I just die cut. And let me tell everybody I'm here. Oh. Hello, Laura. Hello, Kathleen. And yes, it seems like it took me forever to get on. You want to know why? The ones I posted that I cut just a little while ago, I can't find them. I have lost the ones I cut just a little while ago. The ones I just showed you. The ones I posted a picture of. I took a picture and posted them. And now they're poof, gone. Don't ask me where they went because I don't have a clue. They have to be on this desk somewhere. And I wanted to put them in the picture here because they're the really pretty ones. But where are they? I don't have a clue. But I did cut a couple more and I can't even find my pokey tool. Let me move this way a little bit. It's just a little bit too far that way. There we and a hair more. And I just realized my lights aren't even on. Guess that would help too, wouldn't it? And there was light. Oh, I hate my hot light. The day I bought it, it doesn't like to turn on. Well, we'll see. Come on. There. And there was light. I'm getting shadows. Where are the shadows coming from? There should not be any shadows. Okay, let me get this one out of here because this is with a different color that I just cut. And yeah, my pokey tool's hiding under something under there. And another pokey tool I had yesterday has completely disappeared. I spent 30 minutes looking for it earlier. Ta-da! Oh, Mom, don't call right now. Just a moment. Hello. I just now went live on YouTube. I'm doing a live video on YouTube. Yes, I just now started.
Oh, okay. What are you going to make?
I'm doing the gilding flakes like I did on your sign. The gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you thought about anything more for the dinner club? You know, it's only
Mom, I can't discuss it right now, okay? Okay. All right. Bye-bye. She doesn't comprehend when I tell her I'm doing something. She still goes ahead and starts chatting away as if I'm not doing anything and I have all the time in the world to sit and talk with her. Okay. Anyway, these are some that I just cut out of this one, which is, let me reach over here and see if I can find the piece I cut it out of. Oh, it's the other half of this. So this one was cut out of this. And I'm going to show you how to do this. It is not difficult at all. There are quite a few different techniques, though, to get these results. One type of gilding flakes can give you different results depending on how you apply them. Yeah. Okay, let me get my thing over here. Well, why am I not typing? It's not obeying me. Okay, let me clear these things out of the way. And I will show you from the beginning. I'll show you first the different types of gilding flakes. I'll show you something here. See these two different finishes? This and this really bright. These are the exact same gilding flakes. It's just how they are applied. I had put a little bit of copper in with this one, but it's how they are applied that makes the difference. I think I should have a silver here somewhere that's, I thought I had a silver I applied that way. Maybe I didn't, unless I cut it. Let me look over here real quick and see if I cut it, because I cut some ready to use. Step over here, the other half of the desk. Yes. Here's the silver. They're the same gilding flakes, same color. They're just applied differently. Here's some stuff I cut the ones out of, and I can't find them. Told you I have a really bad memory. They are on the desk here, and I put them somewhere so I could show them. And I will find them. They will jump out at me. It's like last night when we were doing the mixed media thing. I looked and looked and looked for some stamps. Could not find them. Drove myself insane looking for them. And today I looked again, and they were right where I was looking for them the entire time. But of course, I didn't see them last night. I do that all the time. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, this is the sheet I've been working on, my nonstick sheet now. Okay. I got a new one out. There it is. I didn't lose it. Yay! I did not lose it. Life is good. We are progressing. I thought I'd use a new one today. That one I'll throw in the sink and scrub it off, and it will look like brand new. Okay. First thing, I'm going to show you some of the gilding flakes I have. I have quite a selection because I've been doing these for years, long before I started doing paper crafting other than this, because I used them for other things. But I've bought more since then. It's good to have a big container. I have this, but I will use paper today. I actually do this sitting on the couch in the living room. That I've put in another container. That's one type. This is the container. Now, these are Cosmic Shimmer brand. This is called Red Blaze. This is a mix. of various colors. And one thing you want to be sure, there are no fans on. Your heating or air, come on. Let's see if I can stop this from trying to autofocus on us. Come on. Hello, Tigger. No, you really don't want to get in this, Tigger. I really don't want you in this, Tigger. Say hello. Yes, we are truly crafting with cats right now. Tigger, I love you. I love you very much. Thank you. Please go away now. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad the top was on that, or we would have had flakes all over the floor. Because he just knocked my container of gold ones off. Okay, come on, focus. I want it to, let me find something to get it to focus on better. Come on, try to focus on that. Oh, come on. You can't focus on that? I'm messing with it. It's not your eyes, really. Is that looking better? How's that? Okay. This is a mix called Summer Meadow. Now, the basic colors are gold. This is your basic gold. The reflection makes some of it look silver, but that is just gold, gold. You can see some of it where it looks really gold. That is your gold color. That's your basic gold. This is actually in sheets that I have put in here. Silver. And, that was close. Copper. It was on its side and the top fell off. So I have some flakes on the floor I need to pick up. And the top is on the floor upside down, so the flakes are sticking to the floor. Copper. This is the one Tigger knocked over. And my furnace just came on. I was trying to get the house warmed up so I can turn it off, turn it way down so it won't come back on. Those are your three basic colors. These colors are relatively inexpensive in general. These other colors that have things like the green. Let me go ahead and close this down now. These other colors that have, this is like that gold and green, various colors of green in it. Furnace has got to go off because it's about to start blowing everything around. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. It may be far enough away that it won't be a problem, the vent in this room. And this one has the various colors of oranges and reds and ranges of gold, deeper golds. Those colors are much more expensive because they are created by adding heat. This one is, what's this one called? Gemstones. I need to move this back. After Tigger was up there, it just moved. He moved everything. Thank you, Tigger. Still not where I need it. Boy, this camera's messed up. Sorry. It's going to be really messed up once I put my shelf up there. Up. Where it belongs. Okay, this is Gemstones. And this has the golds, the reds, the greens, a little bit of what's almost a blue in it. So this has kind of a mix of both of these in it. This one's kind of a mix of both of these. And then I have one more. Where is it? These are a lot more expensive because of the colors that are in it. This one's called Autumn Leaves. And it has a little bit more of the green, and you can, when you get down into it, you'll find some purpley, and sometimes you'll find a kind of a blue in here. And there's a little bit of a rainbowy looking color in there. What color do I have in this? We can go ahead and dump this in here because this just has some waste in it. Now, this doesn't look like a lot. And a lot of times when you buy them, they come in a small little bag like this. Just a little thin bag. But when you take them out, they will fluff up. Like this little container. I'm going to dump them in here. And they keep coming, and they keep coming, and they keep coming. Now, all those little tiny pieces in there, those are good. You don't throw away anything. It's all usable. And something a lot of people don't realize. This one clump right here has dozens of sheets, or probably 5 or 6 sheets, mashed together. Look right here. Watch this. Pull that sheet off. And this is where you have to be careful not to waste your things. There's a nut. That's 2 more sheets put close together, smashed together there. I spend a lot of time separating these because if you put them down and they're mashed together like this, they may stay that way and then they may flake off later. That's 2 sheets together right here. Find my tweezers. There's several sheets together right here. It's really mashed. A lot of pretty colors in here. A lot of pretty color in there. But these clumps are actually multiple sheets together. So you don't want to put clumps out to get out. When you're working on them, you want to make sure you have individual sheets. That is a big clump of sheets. And if you look on this edge right here, I don't know if I can get it. Well, I don't have the autofocus on. Bring it back down some. But this edge, when I look at it, I can pull it apart this way and I can see at least 1, 2, 3, 4 full sheets there. And they're all that size. They're all this full size right here. That's 4 sheets. If I hadn't spread it out, it would have gone out of there in one big clump and laid down, and you'd have never known. And when we put this out, I'll show you what happens when it goes down as a clump like that. You can tell when you're putting them down when you have a clump. Anyway, I'm going to put those in there. When you open a package, put them in a thing. Close it up tight because they will come out any opening you have, and lightly fluff them. That will help open up some of that, but it's not going to get all those sheets apart, but it will give you some. In there. And I can see some sheets that have separated. Oop. It takes some patience. Anyway, that's just a little bit of knowledge about them. Okay, you're going to learn how to use your silver foil sheets. Now, a lot of the time, like these actually came to me in sheets. I took 4 or 5 sheets at a time, stacked them up, ripped them up, and put them in here like this and shook them up. Stacked them up, ripped them up, and put them in here. You keep some sheets to use as sheets, but you get different results by having them in pieces like this. So I'm going to show you how to use them both as sheets and as pieces. So first thing, they have flitter glue. They have what's it called? My brain just fritzed on me. Is it multi-purpose glue? It's the glue that you put it on, and if you use it immediately, it sticks. Or if you let it dry, and when it's dry, it remains tacky. Those are the types of glues you need. But the cheapest way to do it, because those glues are generally pretty darn expensive. My secret weapon is Aleene's Tack It Over and Over. Good stuff. I already have it all over me. Now let's just grab a piece of paper and get it out of here so I can not waste any. Piece of paper. Oh, come on. Out. Out. Been on there already. Now, Aileen's tack it over and over is very thick. And you don't need it that thick. This is actually extremely watered down. I don't know if you can hear it shaking. I have these wee jars are my favorite thing in the world. I have a stack of them. Or anything else. I use these if I'm doing a lot of something. But today, I'm going to use my little plastic cups. And another thing that is the greatest thing on earth as far as I'm concerned, because they're cheap, you get a lot of use out of them, is a sponge. Plain cellulose sponges. I buy them at the grocery store, at the Dollar Tree if I can find them. They used to have them quite frequently. They don't have them as often now. I take them and I cut them into little pieces. I keep a jar of pieces of sponge on my desk. And every time I need to do something such as during the mixed media and I need to do some stenciling or whatever I'm going to be doing, even if we're doing household stencil or household whatever, this makes great little spots depending on what size holes they have in them. They do some cool designs. They rinse out really well, but they're disposable too. They have many sides on them, so you can do lots of different colors with them. But this thing is sticky. Anyway, look how thin this is. It's probably the consistency of milk. Pretty darn thin, as you can see. Very thin. You don't need it to be thick. All it needs to be is enough glue left in it that when it dries, it is sticky. Not massively sticky, just sticky, because these flakes will stick to anything. They will stick to your fingers without any glue on them. So it doesn't take much. So all I do is dip my sponge in here. Doesn't even take a lot on it. Just enough. And I am going, come on. I need to move over. I'm not in full frame, am I? Can't wait to get my shelf up. Then my camera will be right where I want it. Right now I have a little box over here that it's attached to. Easy and fun part here. My sponge is wet, and I'm just going to wet my page. And since you're putting it on so thin, it dries really quickly. I usually do 2 sheets at a time, and by the time I get the second sheet done, it's pretty dry. I might run my heat gun over it, but I rarely have to use my heat gun. So I'm just going over it. I go over the corners, the edges first. If you turn this over, it's going to spill because it is very thin. Now, as this dries, it will try to curl on you. That's why I'm putting too much on it, because I'm doing this too fast. Generally, it will slightly try to curl, but not much, because you're really not getting it all that wet. My fingers are already sticking to the paper. I see some in the middle. It looks like it's a little streaky. Now, what I'm doing, if you do it in circles, you'll get little circular patterns in your flakes when you get done, when you put them on. Whatever pattern you have in your glue will show up in your flakes. If you do lines, you'll get lines. I'm going to do this one so I have little circles. Because these flakes are so thin, the pattern of your glue, just like brush strokes in paint, this will show in your flakes. So you can put a pattern, a design. You can do cross hash marks. You can do anything. And they look really pretty. See if I can show this on some of these. If I can bring it up. I don't know if you can see those lines in there. Yeah, you can see some of them. When I get the light on it right, you can see the lines. Those are the brush. That's not those lines in there. Those are not the foil. Those are actually the marks I made with the glue. That's not the foil. That's the glue that made those lines. This one shows it pretty well. And you actually see some of the swirls in this one. It's the glue. It's not anything else but the glue. Okay, put this over here. Give me a second. I'll dry this. Hello. Glue got my heat guns in the wrong spot. Yeah. Give me a second and I will dry this. And that is sticky. To be careful where you grab it on the edges, because anywhere you touch it with your fingers, it's going to make it less sticky. Okay, now. Oh, I forgot to grab a piece of paper to do this on. I usually lift it up and put another piece of paper under it so my flakes don't go everywhere. And I can pick any left over. Oh, I don't want to use that. I have some palette paper that works great. Where's my palette paper? Oh, there it is. Come here. Oh, there's the one that has the blues in it. That's my home phone ringing. I don't answer that one. This is palette paper from Michael's. Great stuff. Nothing sticks to it. And I use it over and over too. It's for, when you're painting, like we put it down on our glass mat. Well, this works the same way. It's like the glass mat. You mix your paint on it and stuff. Okay, guess maybe we will start. Oh, my hands are so sticky right now. I'm going to have so much Any gilding flakes on me? Okay, the first one, let's just use a multicolor one. They all work the same. You just need your flakes. And the best thing that works with them, and it was sitting right here just a second ago, so it's within reach, is my stencil brush. There we go. Stencil brush. Just a plain cheap stencil brush. This one came from Dollar Tree. There are two ways you can put your flakes on. Very gently, one little flake at a time. And I do that when I have areas that I specifically want them. Now, people say put them on with your brush, but they don't like to stick to it. You can take them and individually lay them down like this when you have larger flakes like that. But the most random way is just pick a bunch up, lightly brush them over. Don't lay them down, just lightly brush them over. Let some of the edge of the flakes touch. See, they're sticking to my fingers. Let the edge of the flakes touch the sticky part. Let them grab on. They will grab on and stay there. Now, right here, I have a huge, one of those huge chunks. I do not want those there. I'm going to pick them up, pull them apart. Get them off there. I'm going to pull this chunk apart because that's many, many sheets here. So I'm scattering them around. And yes, I have lots of gaps, and some of these are still chunks. That's a chunk. This is a chunk. This is a big chunk of them right there. I have plenty on here now. Plenty. And plenty on my fingers to do have a huge section too. So, let go of me. My fingers are already, look at this. As hard as I rub, it's not going to come off. Okay, put my top back on. First thing I'm going to do is take these and the flatter areas. I'm just going to lay these down. Wherever I can lay them down, get them to lay down. Kind of brush them around. Now this is the best way to do this so you don't waste a lot of stuff and you get them to lay down. Now this I could see isn't going to go there. Get stuff to lay down where I can. These kind of just lay them down a little bit. Push them around. That's folded up, so I'm going to push it around a little bit. Unfold that. This is a bunch that's folded up, so I need to stick that piece over there. No room to put that one, so push that around. Get back on there. You don't go underneath, you go on top. Okay. I've kind of got them laid down a little bit. Another chunk. Now that's a little chunk right there, a little group. Can't do too much about that. Now I've got them kind of spread out a little bit. The bigger pieces are kind of laid down a little bit now. If you can tell now, they're not sticking way up. I had them sticking way up. Now they're more flat. So I've got a lot of the stuff kind of flattened out. Now, they're flattened out. They're not flat. They're not flat. They're kind of laying over each other. So anything that's laying on top of another piece, even if it's those thin layers, they're not going to stick. The only thing that's going to stick is the very, very bottom thinnest layer that is actually on the glue. Anything on top of that is not going to adhere. The trick here is brushing the top layer off without going past it and brushing that thin layer off past the glue into the glue. So now I'm going to go around and just lightly tamp this stuff down. That's all I'm doing, just tamping it down. It's going to start looking better already. As I tamp it down, I'm going to have more pieces that you can tell are not sticking down because they're on top of other pieces. Oh, got a hair, don't want that hair. Yeah, you've seen other people do things other ways, but you don't get as good of a result. You just get this mishmash. Okay. Now I have stuff a lot more tamped down. I can see what I have. Now, I started a corner. And there's a lot more here than it looks like. Get off my fingers. Because there's a lot of stuff on top of here that is not going to stick. So I started the corner. You see, there's a lot of blank area here, but there's a lot of stuff on top of this that is not going to stick. So I start here and just start lightly brushing. And what it's going to do is break off these little pieces that are on top of this. I'm just lightly brushing in a circular motion. And as you can see, this is already smoothing out. And I work over, take it and brush it over these areas that are bare. And I'm pushing the pieces that are breaking off onto these bare areas. And even though it looks like there's nothing there to brush off, if you look at it, they're little tiny pieces that are just barely sticking up. And those are going to break off and cause and make almost a powder. And that's going to just go over. Just think of it as, you know how we use talcum powder or starch to make the sticky go away on something that we're making to make the sticky go away on the edges or something. This does the same thing, but it's metallic. And it's going to cover up all these fine areas. So the big sheets, the big pieces are going to make these real pretty blotches of color. And all this powder is going to make lines in between these blotches. If you run out of stuff to get that won't cover it up easily, just go to another place that you see a bunch of stuff sitting on top there. And just work over your areas. Work over the areas that are kind of easy to begin with. Because you'll have some areas that have a whole bunch of stuff sitting there. Get the hair out of the way. And just start working it. I have a whole bunch of stuff sitting on top here, and there's not a bare area there, so I'm going to pull some of this that's on top here over to this area here that I have some bare, and it's going to fill it right in. And I still have a little bit over here that's still bare, so I'm just going to pull it all the way over here and maybe brush some this direction and fill this in. It's a little bit of work, but the results you get are just beautiful. Now, it takes a lot of work to do a whole sheet. I mean, it's not something you can do in just a couple minutes, but the results you get are gorgeous. Like you saw that piece, the things that I die cut out of them. It's work, but oh my gosh, the results you get. People are going to look at it and go, how did you do that? And it's something nobody else is going to have. And every piece is unique. It's not going to come out of a book. And you can make every piece as unique as you want. You can choose how it's going to look by picking up pieces as you place the pieces down. You can choose where you want this blotch of gold or this blotch of green. See, this is one of those big chunks that's many, many layers right here. It's got a lot of layers on top of it. So I'm going to gently pull those apart. There's a lot of color in it here. It has a lot of rainbow color in it right here. Okay, I'm going to work over this pretty quickly. I'm not going to get you too bored. I'm going to go over this one pretty quickly now. Now, as I get pieces that are off the edge here, I lay it down and just pull them, sweep them right back onto it so I can cover up a bare spot that I find. Because even these little tiny pieces, this little tiny bit of dust here that I brush off of it, it's good. It'll fill in a spot. It looks like dust, but it will fill in a spot beautifully. It'll make it shine. So even the dust is useful. Look at this piece that just fell off. Now, this little piece, it's like it's not much use at all, but watch what it does when I lay it down here. It's just kind of almost wadded up. You see how much area that just covered? That one little wadded off piece, wadded up piece. That covered that whole area right there, that one little wadded up piece. Doesn't take much at all. That's why they say they'll last you forever if you use them properly. That's what a lot of people don't realize. And I see people showing how to use them online. Even the people who run the companies, the demos, they do this, and it's like you left half of the stuff on the paper, and the pages don't look as good as they could because they have all these ridges, like right here. Let me brush this stuff off right here. If you can see, let me get the light on it right so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, right in here, you see all these lines and ridges in here? All that? That is not glue. That is not lines in it. That is actually excess gilding flakes, layers of them laying on top of each other that are going to come off because they're not stuck to anything but each other. Watch this, where these lines are. And you're not getting, they're dull. They're dull because they're just laying on top. They're not showing their brilliance because they're just laying on top of each other. And I'm just gently going around. And now look. Those lines are gone, and look at the shine there now. I'm trying to get to it. So much brighter. Just by getting rid of those layers and layers of, and look how much I have over here now. I have this huge pile of all this that I just took off of there. Huge pile of gold right here. Huge pile of gold sitting on top right here that most people would have just left there. And it's going to make a big section of gold right here. I'm just amazed when I watch people do it, and I think, you left half the stuff on there. Now I'm getting a little thin right there. It's because if it starts looking dull, you got a little bit too deep, dug a little bit too deep into it, and I did right there. Which the good thing is, if you get a spot that looks a little dull, you can always add more glue to it and go over it. When you get through, just wipe a little bit of glue over the top of it, let it dry, and put some more down. Can't even tell you did it, but you have to let it fully dry before you put it down, or you will be able to tell. This sheet can be used for a background for something. Cut a piece of it and use it for the surface on a pocket, the background on a pocket. Oh, I want to use that right here. You get a little rolled up piece that looks like it's just nothing. You take it and put it on a bare spot and brush it out. It'll make a nice, big, pretty, solid spot. It's amazing what they will do. Now I see a spot right here I completely missed putting glue on. So what I'm going to do while I'm working in another spot, grab my sponge, put a little bit of glue right there. My sponge isn't wet enough. Put a little glue on it right there. Spread it so it's not too thick. There's that other spot. Well, it doesn't look dull now. It's just the way I was looking at it. I thought it had it getting dull. Nope, looks fine. So I'll let that dry while I'm working on another spot. And then I'll go back and put some more on it. Ooh, there's a bunch sitting on top there. You can see just by looking at it from the side, you can see all these ridges, and you know you still have a bunch of flakes sitting on top. Sometimes I do get a little overzealous because I see it and I just keep going and going. A little bit left on top is okay, but not all these big ridges all over the place. Now, let's see how much I can make this spread all the way to this edge. So I have this whole edge that doesn't have anything on it and looks like I'm completely out of flakes. And I could go into the thing and get some more and make it easy on myself. Nuvo brand, and it comes with gold, silver, and copper. $8 a jar. You wanted me to show you something before you go spend your money there? Here's my copper. Here's my gold. I'm low on silver. I just ordered some more silver. Here's another thing of gold. Here are my gold sheets. And I'm going to show you how to use these sheets. This is where I get my silver, gold, and copper. It's the same stuff. I buy it in the sheets. I only buy the ones that have the, now I got an extra gold here. Ah, get out of my way. Let go. I buy this either on eBay or AliExpress. And this is my rainbow colors. I have some pretty stuff I've done with that. And this is my backup gold stack. Can you tell I do a lot of gilding? I'll do the one with the sheets next. I'll show you the difference. I'll have this one done in just a minute. Heck, I'll go ahead and just grab some out of here and make it quick. I could, if I just keep working this and pulling what's left, see, I can see right here. I can just tell by looking at this, and you will too after you've done this a while. I can tell that there are several layers sitting on top here, and if I work this, I can get the layers off and get this dust off of here and pull it over here and add it to this edge. Now I've got a lot of layers right here that I can work off and add it. I have a lot of layers right here I can see. I can see some layers right here. Because I haven't really worked this. I have a spot right there I didn't get glue on. I use the tan paper, so even if there is a spot I miss, it won't really show that much. But I can usually see them pretty well. There's a whole big chunk right there. It looks it looks chunky. But sometimes you get these spots that it will get so compressed on top of each other, there is no way you're going to get it apart. So you might as well just give up. You work over it a little bit, and it does not want to give up, so don't. There are times you just can't get it to come apart. Okay, let me pull some of this over here and get this. Take care of this that I added glue to. There, can't even tell where I added the glue. About have it done. Let me grab a little tiny bit here. Get it done and over with. little tiny bit. Come on, give me just a few flakes right there. There we go. I'm scrounging up a few flakes to cover this one little spot. There we go. All done. Ta-da! Okay, that one's done. I'd let it dry a little bit longer just to make sure to let the glue be good and dry before using it to die cut. And I usually come over to the back and knock any extra off the back that's come over the edge. There is some sticky on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure some flakes have covered any sticky on the back too. So that sticky is not going to go away unless you cover it with flakes. Now, if there are any flakes left over that are on your sheet here, just dump them back in your container. No matter how small, they're usable. There. Ta-da! One pretty sheet. Now, let's do a sheet with a solid piece. What color do we want to use? Okay, now the solid pieces give you a completely different look. They're the ones that give you the really bright look. I like to do the solid pieces with a little bit of lines between them because that gives you the... Okay. Oh, my foot. Get that out of the way. Didn't I take another piece of paper out? What did I do with the paper? I haven't moved. The paper has to be within reach. I haven't gone anywhere. So where is it? It has to be right here. Hello, where did you go? There it is. Okay. I have more gold than anything. Maybe we'll do gold with a little bit of copper in it. How's that sound? This is a quick and easy part. I said one bottle of tack it over and over will last you forever. I've had this bottle for 3 years. And I do a lot of this. And most people just do little spots and little pieces. I've done quite a few full sheets and things, so. And I actually started using this to retack my scan and cut sheets. I've been known when we're doing our mixed media mashups to throw a few little flakes on top of my canvas while we're working to add a little shimmer to it, because there's usually a sticky spot here or there that they'll stick to, which probably is usually the whole thing. So I have to be very sparing how many little flakes I throw on it, because it's usually pretty sticky all over. But it does add a little bit of shine, get nice little shine to the thing. Okay, let's find the gold. It's the copper. I'll pull a couple of those flakes out. This is silver. I don't want those. I want the full sheets. Okay. Full sheets gold and a couple of copper flakes. Okay. It takes a lot more straight sheets, believe it or not, than it does using just the plain flakes for some reason. Shouldn't, but it does. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is lay a few copper pieces down, so the gold won't stick where I put the copper down. little pieces. Come on. Putting little tiny pieces down. Okay, that ought to do it. Okay, that's some copper scattered around. Okay. There's some copper. Okie dokie. Now we put the sheets on. Now these, you need to keep them as flat as you can. Oh, hello. Well, that didn't go over very well. Need to read some of this. I'm trying to read the chat. Can you pounce the glue on where the cardstock shows through? Yes, you can. Techniques for making a cool, very cool looking piece of cardstock to use. It's what I first came up with before I started doing full sheets like this. I am not doing a very good job of this. Because my fingers are so darn sticky. Oh well, we'll have some gaps in between that have the more regular looking. Yeah, Sharon, I like to ignore your questions. Okay, let's see how I did this the other night. You're buffering? It's got to be YouTube doing it because I have I have what's my speed? 50K? Let me look at my thing here and see what speed it's putting out to know if my speed here might be a problem. Nope, there's no problem here. You only need between 9 and 11 to get to upload for YouTube, and I'm uploading at, well, 40. No, I'm only uploading at 10. So there is a problem. I have to yell at them because I'm paying for 50. Try that again. They're going to have to come in and put the line in the way I want it. Guys are too lazy to do it. Okay. Yeah, I'm only uploading at about 10.3 here. Yeah, I'm going to have to call AT&T and yell at them. Yeah, you can add glue anywhere, anytime. No problem. Okay, I promise I'll start looking here more instead of paying attention to what I'm doing. Sorry. Sincerest apologies. And last one. Okay. Well, come on. You can see why doing it in sheets give you this so much brighter color, brighter finish. And I actually use these because these can be stamped on. These are tissue. Okay, do you see my stencil brush anywhere? How do I lose these things? I haven't gotten up. I have not gone anywhere. And I don't see it. It has to be right in front of me. There it is, underneath the tissues I just put on top of it. First, I'm going to pounce this down to make sure it's sticking everywhere it can. smooth it out everywhere I can. I want it smooth everywhere it can be smooth. See, everywhere that I have the copper, it's already tearing it right off of it because there's nothing to keep it sticking there. So it just lifts right off on top of the copper. Any little gap, these pieces that overlap will just go right onto them. I want it as smooth as I can get it everywhere possible. Okay, now. Grab one of these pieces and pull it over here to take care of this. Now I'm going to work over it and pull all the stuff off where the copper is and make sure any little gaps are filled in. And again, any little wrinkles, just work over them till they disappear. It'll lift them up. Now this is bright. Hey, Missy. You bet. You can do dots. You can do anything. You can put the glue anywhere you want, any pattern you want. You can use double-sided tape and just do lines. Which is always fun to do. I have some pages around here somewhere that I've done that with, lots of lines. Ta-da. Boy, this is bright. Okay, who can think of something they would like to do with part of this page? Say I cut this into 4 pieces. What would you do with a quarter of this page? No, Versamark will not hold the flakes. Versamark is only a temporary adhesive. The only reason Versamark works with the embossing powder is because the embossing powder melts and it becomes the adhesive itself. The Versamark temporarily holds the embossing powder until you melt it, and then it melts to stick. The Versamark eventually just dries and is no longer sticky. Now I could smooth this out a little bit more. There are a few more lines here or there, but not much. Now that is one bright piece of paper. You got booted out, sorry. Sorry, Laura. Who here doesn't have any gilding flakes? There are 8 people here. Who of these 8 people do not have any gilding flakes? Look at this. Youch. Even this is pretty. Wow, that shines. I'm going to mess with that right now. That'd be a lot of work to get all that off of there. Tina Adams. Teresa, you don't have any. Sharon, you have some. I've sent you 3 packages, haven't I? The 3 colors. Okay. Tell you what. Come here, buddy. I don't know if they'll fit. I have other envelopes that'll work better. Okay. Let's cut this. I'm going to cut this little sucker into 4 pieces. Get back there. Make a good little card front or pocket front or embellishment pieces. And I'm also going to have some of those holding this weird up here. Okay, there are only, oh, somebody left. Who left? Okay, anybody here that does not have any gilding flakes or doesn't have enough to really do anything with, message me your address and I will send you some packets of some. They won't be in sheets because they'll be put into a little zip packet, and I'll send you some gold, silver, and copper. Actually, there are only 8 of you. Unless you have a good stock of them, just send me your address. There are only 8 of you. I can do that. Now, I don't have much silver right now, so I can't send much silver, but the gold and copper I have plenty of, so I can do packets. Let me show you what the packets will be, because I do have some already made up. Well, where are they? Well, I'll be dipped. I know they're in this drawer. Are you kidding me? There they are. They're like this. Of course, they look flat. But the packets are like this. Now, if you want, say, more gold or something when you message me, just let me know. If you don't want any copper or you want, just let me know. Oh, yeah, what time is the mixed media tonight? But message me. You can message me or friend me or whatever you need to do. Find me. You can always find me through Pink Poodle. And send me your address. And I will send you some flakes to play with. Just do me a big favor. See if you can get me some, tell people to join my channel. And the reason I'm asking you to do this is not because I want a lot of subbies, is because I have a lot of books that I need to sell, auction off to raise money for the Hardest Foundation. They are books. I have some like this one I just picked up the other day. The only reason I picked this one up is because these pages are wonderful. They are the paper. I want to play with this paper. It's old feeling. I don't know what the date on this book is. I didn't even look, but I love the feel of this paper. It's 1990, but I don't know what this paper is. It's not the normal paper. It's kind of heavy feeling. It has this yellowed edge to it, but it's great. I want to cut these pages out and use them for a journal. But I have lots of these books and things like I have lots of books. I have National Geographics. I have Reader's Digest books. I have dictionaries. I have encyclopedias. I have old books older than the 1920s. I have a box full of music paper. I have old magazines. I have some old Life magazines. I have lots of stuff. I literally have probably 20 boxes full of books. And they're all to be sold or auctioned off. And 33% of it goes to the Hardest Foundation. I don't know. It's just paper. It's not linen, but it's heavier. It's not cardstock. It's not that heavy, but I think it's just great to use for painty papers or use for journal pages, so you can paint or do things on them. It's not as thin as copy paper. It's probably about as heavy as 32 pound paper. I like it. That's why I got the book, and they're a nice size. So I pick up a bunch of books that have these nice size pages to do things with too. I have several sitting here that I picked up the other day. I don't know where they are. They were sitting right here within reach, but I moved them earlier. Where are the others? What are these two? What's this one? Oh, I have lots of books with flowers and things too. I have lots of gardening books and flower books and things like this too. Lots of them. Ooh, I love those pictures. Ooh. I love dictionaries too. And I have lots of dictionaries. That's a pretty page. These are some good pages. Ooh, I like these. This is why I got this book. These are some great ones to do some easy fussing cutting out of and use them on pockets, or in fact, these are the type that I use for, oh, where's my handful of pockets? Did I stick them in that box a while ago? I have a box that I just shoved everything into the other day, earlier, to get them out off my desk. I'll show you the pockets I've been working on. Oh, I need to show you the other way I do my paper. Let me show you that. It's really easy too. My pockets. Pockets. Pockets, pockets, where are you? I put you in a box a while ago. Where are you? It's not that box. You're too heavy. How do I lose everything? I lose everything. I mean, this is insane. I did this just a while ago, so they have to be somewhere nearby. There they are. Right behind me. I didn't even have to get up. Are they in here? Oh, here they are. Of course, on the very bottom, I dumped all the tags and things I've been working on in there. These are just goofy things I've been working on. But things like I fussy cut. Just stuff like this. Just to have some things available to use for whatever. These were made out of a engineering book. Which one? That? Like my sparkly, my homemade glitter, my silver and my gold homemade glitters. Homemade glitter pastes, I mean. It's just stuff I've been playing with. Been playing with my cigar labels. Started a background. In fact, I have two of them I've done backgrounds on. And I have some tags I've started the backgrounds on. Here's the match to that one, the other one to that one. And there's the other one of these. So I have a whole box of these things I'm working on. I work on things and it's like, oh, I don't have an idea. And when the idea hits me, then I'll work on it some more. It goes that way. These, I saw something and I just started playing with. I wanted to play with the paints. So I grabbed some stuff and started playing with the paints. It's like I just, it's like I want to play with paint. So I grab something and just start doing it. Okay, now let's see. I'll show you what I like to do with my gilding flakes. In fact, I know I have a piece of paper here that will work perfectly with it that I put in this drawer earlier. Is it this drawer? No, I put it in this drawer. Here it is. Let me find the paper. I saw it a while ago. Some papers I printed. Has anybody sent me their address? Okay. No, I saw one in here. This will work great for it. And someone was asking about dabbing the glue on the paper. This is a perfect example for doing that. I have larger envelopes for these that will fit these perfectly. I have big invitation envelopes. Okay, and where is my thing of my multiple color gilding flakes? Did I not bring that one over here? I'll have to go get it, or I can use the other ones. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tam. No, that's not it. Okay. I have some gilding flakes that I have in rainbow color. So I'm going to do some rainbow in some of this colorful areas. So what I want to do is just, let's see, I don't want this too much on here. Oh, it's dried out. I think I spilled it on the desk over here. Yep, sure did. Oh, that's going to be a mess. Just a second. I did spill it. Ah. Oh, crap. Oh, this stuff is not easy to clean up. Oh, all over my desk. Well, let's get up what we can. That's what the sponge is for. My hands are stickier by the second. And I don't know what I did with my thing of white bubs that I had sitting here a few minutes ago. Come here. Stick it in my thing of water. You're going to go sit in the trash can for a minute because I don't want you sitting on anything else. Okay. Now I got some of it up. I'll get the rest of it up later. Okie dokie. Now, let's do this. Some sticky along this seam. Sticky there. There. Let's do it along here. I just barely see where I put it. See, the holes in this will give it a little bit of a peppered look. Very, very little there. Okay. Okay, let that dry. Go see if I can find my right back as that dries and get my rainbow gilding flakes. Oh, I have them right here. Is this the right one? Oh, those are the chunky ones. Let's see if I can find the fine ones. I don't see my fine ones, so let's make some. And you heard me. See how chunky these are. You can see this has all the different colors in it. But I want real fine on this. I don't want chunks. I want fine. So that's dry and clean in there. I'm going to actually take, ooh, come on. It's sticking. Oh well. some of these down in here. Ooh. I don't think I've ever been quite this sticky before. Okay. I am so covered in sticky, it's ridiculous. Come on, get off of me. Okay, now I'm going to work this. I'm literally just chopping it up with this, turning it into powder, as close to powder as I can, or at least making it finer. You saw how chunky that was when I put it in there. How fine it is now. I think this is probably dry. Let me go ahead and give a little bit of this to it. And this is literally a rainbow. It has a lot of pink and purple in it and green and gold, but it's a lot of pink and purple and green. Now, I don't even remember where all I put it. I'm just going to put it all over the page and then work it around and then work it all off. tell if it's my hands that are sticky or if it's the paper. A little bit right there. What do you think? I just put it kind of where the colors themselves were. And you can do that with any page. Take a thing of flowers and just do a little dab where the yellows are or the golds are or the greens are. And if you have a green or whatever color you want to highlight it with, and just do a little bit of dabbing right there and put it over it. And the finer you grind it up into, the finer you get. It's like using glitter, but it gives it such a better shine. And you know, you have it really, really fine. You can do just a very, very light touch with the glue and do just a very tiny bit. You can do this on anything. The gold or the silver works great like a glitter. And you can use just a very, very tiny amount on anything. Just very lightly touch it with your glue, let it dry, and then just take a tiny bit and brush it over it. And you can get any effect you want. Now, the first thing I ever did with a piece of paper, let's see, what color paper did I use? And this is when I first started realizing some of the things I could do. Let me show you what I did, and it was really cool. Let me see. I know I used gold. Oh, I know what I used. I used a brown. My brown paper is right here. Yeah, I have some brown right here. Over here to it, I have all my stuff stacked here. Stick it underneath the die cut here. Oh, we'll do a small one. Okay. And let's see, I did not use a sponge at the time. I used, in fact, let's see. Oh, I have some right here. Huh. I'm surprised that it's still wet. I used a piece of saran wrap. And I did not have the tack it over and over again. I hadn't thought of that yet. I was actually using the nail glue. So you can imagine me taking the little thing of nail glue with the little brush on the end of it and putting it on this to try to get it to work. This will work much better. It's sticking to the oh boy. I had to keep going. Oh, this is much easier than trying to do it with the nail glue, let me tell you. Took me a lot longer to do that with using the thing with the nail glue because I'd have to do just a little bit and do a couple spots. Do it a little bit and do a couple spots. Wow, that was a lot easier, a lot faster. Oh, I really don't want to stick my hand in this. What, Sharon? My hand is so sticky, it's going to come out completely gold. You realize that, don't you? I'm going to try to do it this way. I really don't want to stick my hand in these flakes. Everybody was doing the standard stuff with the gilding flakes, and I didn't want to do the standard stuff, and I came up with this. Oh, heck, I'm just going to put a bunch on there so I don't have to mess with it. I just stuck it down in here. Oh, wow. Oh, I have a mess. And I got it on my hands anyway. Okay, now let's get these off of here. Since they're all the same color and everything. Ooh, I still had colored flakes on the end of my brush. I had a little bit of color in there. I'm getting a little haphazard here now. little punch happy. Okie dokie. Ah, here we go. A little bit of random color here or there. This is what I came up with for a really cool background. Let's say I have a lot more flakes on here than I needed. Ooh, don't laugh. I'm going to blow flakes everywhere. Oop, that's copper. Really don't want to dump the gold into the copper. That would not be a good thing. What ratio of the glue in the water? Just water it down till it's pretty thin. What you need to do is just water first. Put some of the tack it over and over into another bottle. Add some water to it, and then put a drop out on something and dry it and touch it. And if it's sticky, it works. Water it down a little bit more, and if it's still sticky, it works. And water it down a little more, and if it's still sticky, it works. And just keep watering it down until it's not sticky anymore, and then just add a little bit more glue back to it. Because what you want is the most watered down you can get it, that it can still be sticky. And this is so darn sticky. I have mine too. I mean, mine really needs more water in it because it's so darn sticky. It's just insane. I could probably add quite a bit more water to mine and be perfectly fine. As long as it's sticky enough to hold this stuff, that's all it needs to be. So just keep adding water and put a few drops down on a piece of paper and spread them out. You know, just spread it out, dry it. And if it's sticky, then it's going to work. All it needs to be is a little bit sticky. Thin, water thin. Where'd the top go? You don't need to waste your glue because this stuff will, like I said, this stuff will stick to your fingers without anything on them. It just needs to have enough glue in it that it's going to dry sticky. You don't want it to have any thickness to it. Enough that it's going to coat your paper. I have way too much on here. I mean, I can do this forever and keep getting it off. Trying to get it off so you can at least see what the pattern looks like. See, like I told you before, it's layered on here, and there are pieces on top of pieces, and I can keep getting it off until I get all the layers off so I can get down to the real shine. I'm trying to get enough off so you can actually see what it looks like. That's what happens when you use too much. I can see where it's flaked up on the edges here. There's so much on here, it's ridiculous. There. Now, is that not cool? Well, Tina, does this help you some? Hello.
Hi. Are you finished with your thing?
Just about.
Oh, you're still doing whatever it is?
I'm just about finished.
Oh, I was going to tell you about what I've been doing ever since I talked to you with the stuff for the dinner club.
Okay, I'll call you back in just a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Okie dokie. She's freaking out. Anyway, what do you think? Now, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? But yeah, as you can see, this stuff's pretty watery. I don't know if you can tell in there, but yeah, it's pretty thin. And I could thin it down a bit more. And there was probably about this much left in the bottle when I added water to it. So, oh God, look at all this. I have it way too much on there. What a mess. Oh well. And like just these little tiny bits that look like nothing, they will do so much. And honestly, to do this, it really didn't take many flakes. I just dumped it on there to make it real quick. And this is so piled up. I can see where this is just layers of flakes on top of layers here. I could do this. I could sit here forever doing this and getting flakes off of here. Let's see, even though I've brushed this off, I'm still getting tons off of here just by doing this because it's layered on top of it, and it'd take me forever to get down to the layer that's actually stuck to the glue. But this is beautiful, and it can be left just like this. I mean, it just has a rough texture look to it like this. If I keep working at it, I'll get down to the smoother look. And I mean, either way is fine. I just get frustrated if I can't get down to the smooth look because it has rough edges and stuff, and that bothers me. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, feel free to message me or put a question at the bottom of this after we're done. There are some other techniques. There you can do them with stencils. Like I said, you can do it with double-sided tape. Gosh, I've done so many different things. The golden, what is the thing? Gold finger, definitely. And I love bling. I love shine. I love bling. So I'm on cloud 9 right now. I love it. So I enjoy it very much. Anyway, if anybody's doing Stacy's mixed media mashup, I will see you there. I need to get a piece of paper gessoed, so I'm ready. My desk isn't too bad. I actually have space to work, so all I have to do is scoop this up and get a piece of paper gessoed. Thank you all very much. Again, anybody that needs that's been here tonight, If you want me to send you some flakes, send me your address, message me. That's for those that were here tonight in the live, not somebody that's listening to it later. If you want me to send you some flakes, you can contact me and I will sell you some for a very reasonable rate. Instead of having to buy a big thing of them, I will sell you some though and get some to you so you can try them out and see if you like it. Because even if you just have some double-sided tape, you can actually play with them and see what you think. And you could do a lot of things just with double-sided tape. Well, if you want to make it really solid, you've got to either get it really right up against each other, which would probably work fine, just depends on the look. I like doing just lines. It depends on what you want. The wider double-sided tape or the double-sided sheets work great. What is it? Starts with a Z. Zig glue works. Tombow, the green Tombow glue works. The one in the green, that works because it dries tacky. That's the one I was trying to think of. And can't think what else. If for some reason I'm sending you a package of something, I can always send you a little tiny bottle of tack it over and over, concentrated, and you can mix your own because it doesn't take much. Because I just ordered a new bottle of this. And that will last forever. So I have like little 3 ml bottles that can be filled, and a 3 ml bottle will make quite a bit of it. So you don't even have to buy a big bottle of it because I can do little bottles. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. And I don't know who the 4 people this is going to, but if you've messaged me and say you want a piece of what I've done tonight, I will include it in your package. So have a good evening. See you at Stacy's. And I've got to find my mouse or I'm not clicking off here. It's under this stuff. Oh, there it is. Okay. Have a good evening. Thanks again. If you think about it, click the thumbs up. Don't do the thumbs down, please. Well, do it if you want to, but thumbs up. TTFN. Bye-bye. I think my fingers are going to stick together.